We picked our Mamdani, not me. A lot of people picked their Mamdani 47 years ago in Iran, which was Khomeini at that time. If you just listen to what Mamdani said in New York, it's verbatim what Khomeini said 47 years ago in the Islamist lefty committee at that time. And people got fooled, so they picked their Khomeini that was supposed to just come and help people have free everything. Watch what he says and listen to Mamdani. His priorities are to Prophet Muhammad, to Hijrah. He brought Medina, all of these 1400 years ago. What happened with their prophet? He just brought it to New York.
I know it might seem like hyperbole. I know for some it might seem like a stretch for this lovely woman to compare Zohran Mamdani to Ayatollah Khomeini in Iran, or as his Islamic colleagues in Egypt preferred to call him, Pharaoh. I know the comparison might seem a bit outlandish to those who have been mesmerized by Zohran Mamdani, but New Yorkers better listen to this woman. You should listen to someone who has lived through it. This woman recognizes what is coming because I'm sure her parents have never forgotten. What happened to Iran in 1979 and the 47 years of terror afterwards? Islamists, they want the exact same thing to happen in America. And like I told you guys before, I think New York City is the trial run. New York City is the appetizer to the main course, which is to turn America into an Islamic dump. 25 years ago, New Yorkers promised to never forget. In your lifetime, there are only a handful of moments where you vividly remember exactly where you were when you found out about it. For those of us who were alive, 9/11 was one of those moments. Hell, 9/11 was the moment. I remember exactly where I was. I was a junior in high school. I was in first period English. The principal got on the intercom to make the announcement. Every classroom in the school was tuned into CNN as we watched what was happening live in New York City. Before 9/11, I had never even heard of Islam. I had damn sure never heard of radical Islamists. For an entire generation of millennials, our innocence was lost on that day. 9/11 was the day that we officially grew up. Here in about 7 months, we will remember those who lost their lives as we commemorate the 25th anniversary of 9/11. There is a memorial set up in New York City along with a museum where the Twin Towers used to be. If you have never been to the 9/11 museum before, I highly recommend it. But here in about 7 months, I'm sure thousands and thousands of people will come together at the memorial to remember those who lost their lives on that day. And again, it is a day that New York promised to never forget. Unfortunately, New York City seems to have a short memory. For starters, the New York City of today is nowhere close to what the city was back in 2001, mainly because doofus Democrats have spent the past 2 decades doing what they do best, which is take something nice, take something that normal people built, and completely destroy it. But that's okay. As it turns out, New Yorkers haven't completely forgotten about 9/11. Matter of fact, they have organized a special celebration tonight in Washington Square Park, which is just a few blocks away from Ground Zero. It's about a mile and a half away from the original site of the Twin Towers. Tonight, there will be a special vigil held near Ground Zero, but they are not honoring the victims of 9/11. They are not remembering the first responders who ran into the buildings as everyone else was running away from them. Instead, tonight in New York City, they will be remembering the life of Ayatollah Khomeini and all martyrs of American imperialism. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Link to the second channel is in the description below. Earlier today on the second channel, we talked about another dump, hell, the original dump, better known as the WNBA dump. The League of Unity is completely divided, as half of WNBA players are willing to accept the league's very generous offer, while the other half are being greedy and standing by their unreasonable demands. We discuss recent comments that were made by Sophie Cunningham, and I explain why the lovely Sophie Cunningham proves that WNBA players, they know absolutely nothing about business. So if you haven't already, click the link in the description below, subscribe to the second channel. Yesterday afternoon, in the video about James Tallarico, we talked about how the devil often approaches in disguise. He doesn't approach you as Keith Olbermann. Keithy Boo! He's way too smart for that. The devil knows if he approaches you as creepy Uncle Keith, women will run away faster than the Lizzo chasing a free buffet, and men will automatically reject the boy named Pooh. Oftentimes, the devil uses the art of deception, and communists and Islamists, they have mastered the art of deception. For example, when Zohran Mamdani was campaigning to be mayor of New York City, he was making all these grandiose promises. He was playing the role of the happy-go-lucky doofus. Hey friends, it's me, Zohran Mamdani. Vote for me and everything's free. Free bus, free education, free child care, free, yippee! Last I checked, the only thing Zohran Mamdani has given away for free in New York City is the free sounds of the Islamic call to prayer at 5 o'clock in the morning. His second act of freedom is allowing radical Islamists to give away free tickets to a memorial service later on tonight. Check it out for yourself. Join us tonight as we honor the life of our fallen hero. This man deserves to be remembered. Roadside bombs, thousands of acts of terror, treating women as second-class citizens, murdering anyone who refused to submit to Sharia law. This man was truly a visionary. This man was ahead of his time. If you took a look at the bottom of the invitation, you'll see several logos representing groups that I'm assuming sponsored this event. One of the groups, NYC ARG, that is a far-left animal rights group in New York City, which is great, right? Uncle KC is all about animal rights and taking care of our animals. Hell, in the last 2 months, I have spent a ton of money fighting cancer for one of my oldest Yorkies just to keep her alive. So I am all about doing whatever it takes to take care of our animals. But I'm wondering why an animal rights group is sponsoring an event for radical Islamists, a group that is known for their hatred of dogs. Another organization that is sponsoring the event is something called Palavir. Based on their Instagram account, Palavir fights gentrification in New York City. They fight against those evil landlords who are evicting people who can't afford to pay rent. How dare you evict this squatter? It's not his fault he can't pay rent. I'm sure you're probably asking yourself the same thing that I was. Why are radical leftists working with radical Islamists? On the surface, Islamists seem to have more in common with conservatives, at least in terms of core values. On the surface, Islamists are against damn near everything that deacons at Woke United Methodist are fighting for. Islamists refuse to learn the LGBT alphabet. Islamists are damn sure not feminist. They have no desire to embrace the woke wiener. So, why are two opposing movements joining forces and working together? They're working together because they share a common enemy. And that common enemy is me and you. That common enemy is America and everything that we represent. And look. It's not just the Islamists who hate America. Deacons at Woke United Methodist, they're not the only ones supporting Iran in this ongoing war. The mainstream media is on the same side. The media hates America just as much, if not even more, than they do. You don't have to take my word for it. Bill O'Reilly explained it perfectly Wednesday night on News Nation, home of Chris Cuomo. Hey, it's me, Chrissy C. Watch it for yourself.
The press is actually rooting for Iran. I watch ABC.
When you
World
say
News.
Iran, you mean the people or the regime?
They want America to lose. So World News tonight on ABC did 15 minutes last night, did 8 segments, every segment negative. And I mean really negative. Every segment. Not one positive word. Not one word on how bad the mullahs were. After watching it, I wanted to surrender. We should surrender to Iran. Watching ABC News, we lost. They want Trump broken.
I don't think.
Just think about that. The American media, the useless American media, who has the right to spread lies and propaganda without consequence, instead of supporting the country that gives them that right, they are supporting a country where the only media is state-run media. They are supporting a country where the media is heavily regulated. And if you go against the narrative of the regime, you don't have to worry about wasting the energy of walking to the elevator and taking it downstairs. More than likely, they will give you a free flight right off the building. Instead of supporting our military, the media is supporting Iran. Have you ever wondered why Iran uses terrorism? You ever wonder why they attack civilians instead of attacking militarily? They can't attack militarily. Their only way to fight is through cowardly terrorist attacks. They are so behind technologically, they can't get a paper airplane off the ground. Yet for some reason, our media is supporting that country. For some reason, less than 2 miles away from Ground Zero, New York is choosing to honor a man who sponsored terrorism instead of supporting and honoring the orange man who is trying to stop it. Like I said, and this is pure speculation on my part, I think New York City is a trial run. I think Islamists are testing America. They are testing our tolerance, which at this point might as well be called weakness. Right now, Islam is the fastest growing religion in New York City. Not Christianity, not Buddhism, not Judaism, not even atheism. Islam. And if we don't wake the hell up, it won't be very long before Islam is the fastest growing religion across America. Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys tomorrow.